I am alive. So said Frankenstein. I am alive. I am Neighborhood Watch. No, I'm not Neighborhood Watch. I'm Nielsen Dynasty. This is a shirt my neighbors had made because I watched the neighborhood ad for many years. Anyhow, this is Nielsen Dynasty. Please like, share, and subscribe. Buy some silver, some platinum, some crystallized osmium, and be kind, helpful, and grateful because it's better than being a jerk. Because being a jerk might be fun when you're drunk, but being drunk's kind of stupid. So don't be a jerk too often. Let's see. I got to share screen here because I want to share some crap. First off, let's see. We'll start with. We'll start off with this one. Here's share screen on this one here. Go back to where was I? Where am I? I'm on live. Okay, can you guys see this? Cool. Okay, I've got to jump back over on this page. I'm going to miss the chat, but basically, oh, you guys are still seeing me? No, I'm in the corner. Shit, now my computer cut out. Hold on there. Let me go over to here so I can read this. In 1861, the United States, the Union, primarily used gold and silver coinage and bank notes issued by state chartered banks. However, the outbreak of the Civil War necessitated a new approach to funding the war effort. To address this financial strain of the war, U.S. Congress authorized issuance of paper money known as demand notes in 1861. These notes were printed with the green ink on the back, earning them the nickname greenbacks. The demand notes were redeemable for gold or silver at coins at specific banks, not at every bank, but at specific banks. Start of federal control. However, by December 1861, the government faced a shortage in coinage to redeem the demand notes. This led to the passage of the Legal Tender Act in 1862, which replaced the demand notes with United States notes, also called legal tender notes. This is in 1862. These notes were the Union's first truly legal tender, meaning they had been accepted at face value for most debts, but were not directly redeemable for precious metals. The values of these notes was based on the faith of the government. Very interesting. So let's jump back over here. And how do I get rid of this son bitch? Well, son bitch. I'll just X off on it. There we go. Son bitch, I got rid of that bastard. Now, we're going to go to another live stream because I'm trying to explain money and what, why, when, why, how. Okay. Now, let's see. Share screen. Boom. What bank were banks using their own money in 1861? In 1861, prior spread circulation of federal paper money due to the Civil War, we would never have faced the issues we're having now because it wouldn't have gone as far. But in 1861, prior to the widespread circulation of the federal paper money, many banks in the United States, particularly state chartered banks, were issuing their own bank notes, legal by Congress. Now let's see. Hold on here. Here is why and where this was happening. No centralized system before the Civil War in the United States lacked a single national currency and central banking system like the Federal Reserve to regulate the money supply. State chartered banks, many states chartered banks, and state chartered banks, many state chartered banks, and allowed them to print their own money. That doesn't make sense. But anyhow, their own paper money, according to the First Federal Credit Union. This led to a large number of different banknotes circulating, each with its own design and potentially varying value. Wildcat banks, some of these stated chartered banks, were also known as wildcat banks because they were often established in remote locations and sometimes issued currency without adequate backing of gold or silver. Wow. So it started way back then with the cheating on the dollars, huh? Confederate States of America, in addition to state chartered banks, with the outbreak of the Civil War, the Confederate States of America began printing its own paper money to finance the war effort, notes the Historical New Orleans collection. And let's see, the system of state privately issued banknotes led to challenges like counterfeiting, fluctuating currency values, economic instability, and the need for a more uniform currency and a way for to finance the Civil War led to the federal government's issuing of its own paper money note as greenbacks starting in 1861. Bachinga, bachanga, bajunga. Hey, what's up, Pete? What's up, Tom? Just going through a little history lesson on money. Hold on, I got to see this here so I can share screen one more time. And we'll go to the future. This is what I asked for the future. I asked, what would money look like in 2075? And obviously, we're not there. And this is what Google had to say to me. In 2075, it is likely the United States will still be using the US dollar, but the way will still be using the US dollar, but the way it's used and valued may be significantly different. Whereas physical cash might be rare, electronic and potentially a cryptocurrency-based form of the dollar are more probable. This is Google for their prediction on 1975 and what dollar we're going to use. And they said the cryptocurrency-based forms most probable. Inflation will likely have devalued the dollar's purchasing power, meaning it'll take more dollars to buy the same amount of goods and services. Here's a more detailed breakdown. Continued use of the dollar. Despite potential shifts in payment methods, the US dollar is likely to remain the primary currency. A cashless society now. It says cashless society. It is predicted that physical cash will be much less common, with electronic and digital forms of the dollar dominating transactions. Now let's go here and see inflation impact. Inflation will have eroded the dollar purchasing power. For example, $1 in 2022 could be worth about $4.82 in 2075, according to Financial Analysis. Future money, the future, what will money be used in 2075? So again, come back down here, cryptocurrency potentials. Cryptocurrency might play a large role, possibly even intertwined with official dollar. Now, having said that, ISO 222 is an accepted worldwide established cryptocurrency to be used as a financial transactions. And back 8-9 years ago, the State Department signed contracts with Algo and Stellar XLM to come up with a digital dollar. So according to the future expectations of Google search, when I asked what dollar will America be using in 2075, it came up with the cryptocurrency thing. I didn't ask it about cryptocurrency at all. I found it very interesting that it came back with that answer, because those are, to me, indicators of a future that is being wanted to be pushed on us. And, well, till we become quasi quadrillionaires, we got to live in someone else's world until we own it. So it looks like it's going that direction. Having said that, what's up, Black Watch? Having said that, I would say, keep an eye on that market for a new type of money system. And when they say a new dollar, as you saw in the earlier report, back in 1861 1862 was the creation of the first federal note. So we've had a dollar, and this is where the terms get a little less accurate. We've had a dollar since 1862. The only thing is, we've had like $3 or $4 since 1862. So yeah, we've had a dollar system, but the actual dollar has been backed by several different things, changing up the dollar. So when they say dollar, it's not the dollar that we have now, the fiat system dollar that we'll have in 2075. And I wanted to make that clear, because the term dollar, well, we had a dollar bill back in 1962. It's irrelevant and worthless other than historical value, because that dollar is not the same dollar we use now. It's just the same word. So the financial money system will change, and we'll still call it a dollar. Because I actually have a picture of the next dollar we're going to be using, and it's totally different from this one, which means the whole backing system of that dollar will change. Just like in from 1962, I think 1933, 1971, we changed dollars and what backed them, and it's going to always change. That's how you evolve economies. Face world crises, economic wars, and other things. That's just the evolution of money. What's up, Gerald? Who else jumped in here? Holla for the dollar. Now, Tom, I've been looking at, Tom says, with gold as a tier 1 asset now, which it is under Basel III, which started enactment in July 1st, 2025. July 1st. Trump could revalue it and make the whole new coin the way I see it instead of the dollar. That is 100% true. He could do that, Tom. And actually what he wants to do, and I did a small video on this, is he wanted Judy Shelton as a Fed chair. Congress did not appoint her because it has to go through Congress. They pushed Powell on him. I saw a David Morgan interview with Judy Shelton. She said it would take 20 years to unwrap the bullshit of the last 50-some years of the fiat dollar system and contracts before we go back on a full gold system. But there are several ways we can look as indicators if that's happening. One of them, also another way to save America, is have gold-backed bonds. Bonds backed by gold. That would kind of change things up too. But anyhow, in that interview with Judy Shelton, she was telling him that it would take about 20 years and they'd have to start unraveling things. And what's probably going to happen, if she gets nominated, which I don't think she will because they're talking about other people now, so that time might have passed temporarily. But there are moves being made to put America back on a gold system. I don't know how long. At earliest, it'll be 20, 25 years probably before we get back to it, because we're going to have to institutionalize the digital system into our economy and get it stabilized, set, and going good, along with the economy, with the regular economy that uses physical cash and gold and silver and now digital currency. And after that gets stabilized, they'll probably come up with a gold-backed system, digitally currency and physical currency backed by gold. And that'll stabilize all the markets of the world at the time. But right now, it's a time for new currencies to come out. And I mean, look at Zimbabwe. You cats, be quiet. It's time for new currencies to come out, new experiments. And look at what's it, El Salvador, the new experimental currency for the whole nation is BTC. You look at Burkina Faso, their experimental new currency is 100% backed by gold. How societies determine what system is best is they look at the country that they're doing these experiments on, and they see how it affects the countries around them. Is it affecting them for the better, for the worse, or non-effective at all? And they tend to make their decisions based off that. If that was my decision to make, I would look at it and say, okay, well, if this country's monetary system they're using is benefiting not only them, but the countries around them, I would use that monetary system because I'm a positive good person. I'm not in charge, so I don't know which system they're going to use. I do know there's 2 experiments for money. One of them is a Bitcoin system. One of them is a gold-backed system. You know, they're both going to eventually, it'll pan out to where both of them are used. Maybe not BTC, but another digital system along with gold. And they will both be integrated in for cohesion, but it's not going to happen tomorrow. It won't happen in 10 years, probably won't happen in 20, more like 30. Uh-oh, we got a retracted message. This is not redacted with those 2 people, Gerald. Let's see. Tom, hi, Gerald. Black Watch. Prior to 35, some Dominion of Canada notes were issued, some large, and they were called blanket notes. Interesting. I got to go watch Neil win the word game. Oh, JM's coming on. Yeah. I forgot about JM. He's got a couple minutes before he comes on. I think he comes on my time at 2. But yeah, I just wanted to put this out because I was interested in what George Gammon said. And he was like talking crap about, and he actually kind of, what's up, Mosiva? He actually laughed at a comment I made and kind of jousted at me and said, yeah, Basel 3 ain't crap. So I hit back with him. Anyhow, it got me to leading into doing this live stream, giving those demonstrations from Google, what money systems we were using back in the 1800s till now, and the breakdown, so you guys can see how it happened, and how it happened is probably how it's going to happen. Having said that, I did want to keep this live stream short and just tell you about those 3 things that I said about money, and bring your awareness to the actual facts that we actually had states that created their own banknotes back before 1861 till America started. And only after then did we come up with a national system, and it took the Civil War to do that. So they always use war to change systems. Imagine that. And a change is coming. We're actually living through right now. So just be aware of everything. Be aware of the history of money, because the history of money, if you know the history of money, you have a better idea of the future of money, basically. And with that said, I'm going to bid you adieu. And Tom, I will see you on JM's stream in about 16 minutes. You guys have a great week ahead. Be kind, helpful, grateful. God bless America and everyone here. Have a good night, peoples.